One enters one of the prime metros in India, gets off at the platform and hits the road. One need not go too far but only take a cab from the station to see the true face of any metro, its slums. A simple ride across the Indian road shows that even while driving within the city, it is impossible to go from one place to another without witnessing poverty. According to Mr. Manmohan Singh, our Prime Minister of India,
this rapid urbanization has found its own sets of problems. A large proportion of our urban population still lives in slums, in unacceptable conditions.
one of the main causes of formation of slums in the urban sector is the migration of people from the villages. This can be due to natural or man-made disasters. For example, the drought in Bihar caused millions to traverse from their respective homes to the towns. They were rendered homeless and jobless overnight and were reduced to the status of slum dwellers. Also, the people living in coastal areas face similar periodical natural disasters like typhoons and cyclones. Ayla, for example, had struck the semi-urban parts of Bangladesh so bad there was mass-scale relocation. People left their homes and shifted with their families to higher and drier lands as farms and whole towns in coastal areas were drowned. One of the man-made causes behind the birth of a slum is the real estate black market. The following scenes show people who belong to the lower or the central middle class category of Mumbai who were promised a flat or even a plot in these areas of Maharashtra. They were asked to pay a heavy amount of money as security deposit and were later tricked of their previous dwelling. Thus they lost both homes and now must reside in these areas. The main problem associated with residing in the slums involves the food and water conditions. The water is collected from municipal taps and are rarely filtered. Thus, they give rise to epidemical levels of waterborne disease. Health is still the most prevalent problem to be dealt with when one thinks of development of the slums. The main problem of the lack of sufficient money tends to make them push the limits of endurance and tolerance. Eventually, the weak, young and fragile succumb. The people who fall sick are not truly even aware of their medical condition. Thus, they approach superstitious methods and try other rites and rituals to deal with life-taking diseases. Severe lack of money, resources and simple care leads to them breaking down at a deeper level. The careless attitude of the government doesn't do much to help them out. Thus, at a much worse stage, when concerned officials and philanthropists reach to them to help out, it is usually too late. Every slum is the breeding point for a huge number of criminals and outlaws. The slums are ideal locations for screened crimes like theft, robbery and murder. The boys work in gangs that move about in the locality with crude but violent weapons. However, one must remember that their violent paths are usually met by an equally violent death. The boy in the video was rescued by a priest. The people of the slums are usually uneducated and oppressed. They eventually end up as beggars, some even from their youth. According to a famous journal, Kolkata houses one of the largest brothels in Asia. The girls are kidnapped, shipped, trafficked or even sometimes caught with marital ties. The girls are caught on early, sometimes at 12 and are visited even by rickshaw pullers.
I had a chat with one of the brothel regulars, closely supervised by Malka from Durbar, the sex workers.
And how often do you come here?
কতবার এখানে আসেন?
সপ্তাহে 3 বার।
About
The children of slum dwellers face extreme punishment and harassment at the hands of their parents, driving them to limits, lose their innocence and begin a sad journey. In general, slum dwellers have no real source of income or strong livelihood and end up being rag pickers and waste collectors, working in filthy and often hazardous conditions. However, as is the case with man, the skilled still find odd job works in the cottage industries of the slum, ranging from petty industry work to pottery, leather tanning and collecting plastics. The workers work on a daily wage basis, earning to as low as rupees 20 a day after working 12 straight hours, of which some must be given to the local goons.